Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back. Today we have the new tier 5, the Queen's Knights. We've been playing around with these a little bit. I've been actually really enjoying them. They are quite hard to get a good go with, but I've been enjoying it. So as usual, we're going to go through the vet line, doctrines, that sort of thing, and then we are going to look at some clips. So let's get into the vet line and the doctrines. So here are my Queen's Knights. In the vet line I'm in, they go to Queen's Paladins. Quite cool, like a paladin. Sounds nice. But we'll start off with the doctrines. So we're starting off. We've got the Queen's Knight Battle Doctrine that they cannot be damaged within 2 seconds of run them through. That's really nice. Basically, when you stab, you can't take any damage for 2 seconds. You're invulnerable. That is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Then we've got an Epic Damage Doctrine. This is from an event back in the day. It's got a bit of piercing, slashing, and blunt. We're only really using the blunt and piercing for the shield bash and the stab. They're kind of a solely piercing unit. We've got a bit of piercing defense and 440 health. We've got a little hero damage doctrine, and then we have the Queen's Knight Blue Doctrine that reduces damage taken when using bash and thrust. This is going to be replaced. There's currently an event on with a doctrine for these tier 5 that reduces the cooldown of bash and thrust by 5 seconds. So that spot is reserved for that one. That's why I haven't gone and put like a big hero damage or a big unit damage on it, just because I know I'm replacing it shortly, but I needed something to run for the video. So yeah, let's take a look at the vet line. Okay, so I have run both vet lines, and I can imagine the bottom line is going to be good once you can get that 5-second reduction cooldown off of bash and thrust, or thrust and bash. So yeah, bash and thrust. Once you get that doctrine, then this line becomes a lot better. It's very good. It does a lot of damage, but for me, I have been preferring the top line because of that doctrine we've got that after run them through, we can't take any damage. I like having a reduced cooldown on that, and sort of the playstyle I was doing was stabbing in and then moving them back out, and you can basically do this on cooldown. It's really nice. It works well, but definitely been preferring the top line over the bottom line. They do become really tanky with the bottom line because you get a kind of passive 15% melee damage reduction here, and then also after using bash and thrust, you take 15% less damage. So yeah, and you get a stun. It's good, but the cooldown was just a little bit high. But with that 5 seconds off, potentially the bottom line will be better. But we've got a little way to go before we can get that 5 seconds off doctrine. So for now, we're going top line. I'll probably make another video once we get further in these. But this is just our initial look. So yeah. And they've got a few things here. So they get extra block effects when using a sword attack. That's nice. And then we got to the point. Stabbing skills inflicts more piercing. Okay. Run them through is a base cooldown of 11 seconds. I don't think that's included the 3 seconds off. So yeah, it's 8 seconds for us. And then the duration 3 seconds. So they'll do 2 stabs. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. You just got to be patient for that second stab to go off. And then bash and thrust is basically a stab and then a shield bash, but it lasts for a long time. They'll just go around shield bashing everything. But the initial hit with that is a lot better than what they do in the duration. Sounds weird, but when you see them, you'll see what I mean. Run them through feels a bit better to me at the moment, but as I said, with that doctrine, I think bottom line could come into its own. And then in terms of stats, with the top line, you're looking at 14,000 health, with obviously the doctrines I currently have. We obviously got no slashing pen, but piercing pen, we're at 2,282. Piercing damage, we're at 1,700. And yeah, blunt's kind of low, but that's fine. Piercing defense 890, slashing defense 637, and blunt defense 466. So quite vulnerable to the old mauls, but yeah. So let's get into the clips, and we'll go through how they're playing. I warn you, it hasn't been easy, but I imagine things will change with these guys in the coming few weeks. But it hasn't been that easy. But they are fun to play. I will give you that. So let's take a look at these clips. Okay, so we're into the clips. And this is roughly one of my first games. I think from my first 5 games, I've probably done about 30 games with these guys now, because it's not easy. They do good damage. They can be tanky, but if they're not doing damage, they're not tanky. It's a really weird, play style, but they're really enjoyable. Doing the sort of run them through and stuff like that feels great. The only thing I can compare these two is they're like Orochi mixed with Azaps. Because you're running them through gives you a damage immunity. You almost want to use it defensively as well as offensively, and it's it can be weird, but they're really fun, and they can be super tanky when you're attacking. But then moving around is where it's quite dangerous. You run past guns, you'll lose quite a lot of them. But here we are on the point. We're just running through. We're diving back and forth. We've got a lot of team with us, so it is a big help. On your own with this unit, it can be a bit rough. It can be a little bit rough. But nonetheless, we managed to pick up a few kills in this game. I haven't been able to get a full game with them yet. And I'm putting that down to the fact that Men-at-Arms and now Rattan Marksman have mastery. It's very tricky to get around. Rattans are crazy. We will do a video on them at some point, but yeah, my god, just crazy. So it's a bit of a rough start for these guys, because they're coming straight into a place where we've got 2 units that are just stupid, like 2 broken units. So yeah, it's a rough world for them at the moment, but nonetheless, we're going to put them on B point here and do a little bit of piercing and penetration. Pick up 10 kills. I mean, most of the time you're going to see this, and I'm going to be in a group, because I'm not going to lie, a lot of the times when I've not been in a group, it doesn't always work out the best for these guys. Go against Zweihanders, they lose against Zweihanders. Yeah, they lose against Imperial Jabs, they lose against Men-at-Arms. The only way I get Men-at-Arms is if I kind of sneak up on them. That is basically what you've got to do with this unit. It's really fast, it's got some good pace to it, but your main thing you want to be doing is almost sneaking around the back. Let those Men-at-Arms, let everyone playing Men-at-Arms go at the front and take all those hits, and then you just try and sneak around the side or the back and get them. Here we're going to go front line, but it's only a few green units, it's not bad. And you see I use run through to get the immunity, and then I move backwards. So I get the stab off, I go back. Get the stab off, go back. And this is kind of the game, the style that I've been doing with these guys. Unless I get into combat and I can't get them out, and then I'll click 2. But it's got defensive properties too. But yeah, so we're going to come up against some other Queen's Knights. And we managed to get those down, that's good. Going to roam back a bit. I just didn't want to lose them at this point. I thought that we had finally getting a decent enough clip. Because as I said, there's a lot of... I did a lot of games. I've spent all day on CB, and I'm now burning. I'm getting burnt out. But we managed to get enough clips that I can show you what kind of an average player looks like with them. And, you know, normally with these units, whenever we get a new tier 5 or tier 4, I'll do an initial review, and then after a few days or a few weeks, we get used to it. People find ways of making them work even better than they did before, and then I'll normally make a second video to show the full potential. But yeah, this is just a microscope zoom in on a few hours of playing. So yeah, so we're now pushing through the end gate. We've got some guys taking C, so we're looking rather good here. Going on a push. I'm a bit wary that they've got walking pikes there, so I'm just gonna leave my guys out, let those Men-at-Arms and everyone else take the walking pikes. Think the walk is over and done with now. We're gonna put him in, go in for a stab, and we land some damage. It's like 1,800. It's not a huge amount of damage, but they are immune to damage when they do that. That is obviously that's quite good. That's really good. And at that time we did drop the thrust and bash. Loving the names of these skills, they're fantastic. So we're going to push them in here, see if we can pick up any more. We've got a Treb coming in, just going to avoid that. Having a little look to see what's out there. I think there's some Zweihanders coming around the corner, and I mistakenly go for them in a second. But we'll pick up a few of those walking pikes into the side of them. Just keep them moving is the main thing, but don't do this. This is about it. You see those? I was kind of thought, oh, I can immune them, but my immune ran out, and then they slapped them. So that makes the end of these guys. Moving on, we are on the map that everyone hates, and we're being attacked. So I've been scouting the map, and I'm sort of going Lone Ranger on this one. I see this guy with his pikes here. Nothing major. They're not exactly gonna do anything to these guys. Gonna slap them up. I think they are potentially Black Dragon pikes. The mercenary unit that there, and then he's here. He's just trying to get away. Jumps over the edge. Gonna give my guys a little bit of a heal. Just as I said, when I'm trying to make these sort of videos, it's stressful. Like you're sweating because what you're trying to do is stay alive with your unit, but also try and get good enough content to make a video. But if you die, if you get wiped, you have to do the entire game and then go again. You can't just restart. And if you leave the battle to join a new battle, well, one, you're a bit of a scumbag, but two, you will get 10 seconds of not being able to do anything. So we're just preparing for them to come up, just looking around. We've got a few down there. Some people deciding they're going to have a little go on the stairs. Another thing that these guys are not great at dealing with are imp shields. Those guys, or imp spears. Yeah, they struggle against those. It's Zweihanders I've really struggled. Actually, there's a lot. Imperial Javs, Zweihanders, Men-at-Arms you can do well against if you catch them slightly off guard. Not fully, but slightly. You just gotta be wary, because you can basically time your run them through at the same time as they do their like mastery charge on cover commander. You can ignore the charge that's quite strong, but you got to time it exactly right. So we got them chucked in there. We've got bash and thrust and bash going. That's doing a nice bit of damage, and we pick up a kill, pick up an assist and a kill. That's nice. Getting trebbed, bit of bobbing and weaving around there, and going in. But I have been really enjoying this unit. It is enjoyable, but because it's so enjoyable, I get so annoyed when it dies because I just want to play it more. It's like it is Orochis mixed with Azaps, in a weird way. So we're going to go here. I'm going to drop a Great Thunderbolt, and then we are going to push our way in, slicing away, not slicing, stabbing, lots of stabbing. One thing you've got to get good at with these, or not good at, you've got to get used to, is Xing them everywhere, because you want to push them into places. Click one, then click two, yeah, then keep them rolling. So that is basically the end for them. I think at the end of this clip, I think I cut the end of this clip because we ran them into something we shouldn't have, and it was just an instant death. They didn't even get any damage out. So yeah, we're gonna, I think the last bit of this, we're gonna face against some Reapers, or what's left of some Reapers, and then we're gonna move on to the next clip because it's over. There was a big push, and they just got wiped, got caught out. But yes, definitely a flanking unit. Definitely flanking. And into this next clip, where we are going to push up on here, and someone has left their men-at-arms AFK in the corner here. So we're going to drop a Great Thunderbolt and a stab at the same time, and one shot. That's very nice. That's very nice. That felt good, because at the moment men-at-arms are a problem, and I was hoping these guys would deal with them quite well, and they can, as I said, but it can be a bit lackluster sometimes. I've been using the Great Thunderbolt to try and help me kind of get some pushes going with these. Gonna take down this guy, give him a little throw, miss the throw, miss that, little stab, but he goes down the end, and then we're gonna just work our way along the wall. Oh no, we're going to fast forward because this is the boring bit. Off we go, a few archers down there, round here, go take B, and then do the traditional run back to where we initially were, and we are going to head down the stairs into another push. And unfortunately, I get knocked down here. This is quite a good move from this guy. Charges his pikes, and then hits half my unit down with the explosive thing. But it doesn't matter because we click run them through, and that instantly gives us a damage a mitigation. That's quite nice. I mean, I think we only lost about 3 there. That's good. Give him a heal up, and we'll get further on into the game. Getting thrown out by the new Javs. I forget their name. With that buff they've had, they're doing quite well now. They're doing quite well. We might have to do a revisit on those because yeah, so I've been hit by them quite hard a few times. 30 of them has made a difference, definitely. So we're going to do a little push on point. Got some guy charging his Prefecture guards. I think I almost F up this Treb, but it's just about okay on Pavis over there, and we are going to dive on in. The gentlemen have caught up with us. We're going to keep them moving. The one thing you'll find as well with these guys, it's super aggressive. When you get them, don't leave them in formation in one spot. They will go aggressive and run, and it's super long range aggression. They go miles. So we're going to push down here. We're having the guys take C, and now we're going to go straight to base and try and negate them setting up. So we're going to push straight down here. It's kind of annoying these guys don't have a normal charge. I don't know. It always feels weird when a unit like this doesn't have a charge, but I guess you just got to X them in and hope for the best. But we're not doing a bad job here. We've got the guys going. We're going to kill this pike. We'll get an assist. Still clicking run through. Good damage coming out on those Madao and the Palace Guard, I think, are there. But unfortunately, we're starting to take a bit of damage. We're losing a few cav charges everywhere, and it looks like we'll spell the end. But this is a solely 82 unit kills with just these guys, so I'm not too upset with that. And yeah, I've been enjoying it. Right then, into the moment that we've all been waiting for, the conclusion. I do apologize that I couldn't get better clips. Like, I mean, 80 kills here, 60 kills there, stuff like that. And that was about the best I could do with them, to be honest. I mean, for now, I probably did 35 games today. It was the morning when I started playing, and now it is the evening that is disgusting. So it's been rough, but it's also been fun. It's not rough in a bad way like some other units I've done reviews and videos on have been. It's been fun. They are a good unit, but definitely for flanking, definitely for going around the back, and yeah, keeping stragglers, catching them out and whatever. But really good, and I think worth getting. I'm not sure if they'll change them in the coming few months, but yeah, enjoyable. Like, if you like Orochi, you'll probably like these guys. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this sort of content, I'd really appreciate the sub. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.